All right, all praise to Yahweh, in the name of the Son, Yahweh Shai, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to my elders, apostles, and the bishops of Great Millstone, otherwise known as GMS, also known as the prophets of doom. These are where I have learned this truth and where I am still learning this truth. And also shalom to the remnant and the elect of Israel, Lord willing, I am of that number. All right, so we're getting right back into this video, speaking of the Spirit of the Lord being on these missiles that are going to hit here. All right, because again, World War III and the rest of the things, all right, that are coming to this place, doom, are prophecy. All right, as a matter of fact, let's go real quick and get the definition of doom. Oops, hold on. Doom. All right, doom. It says death, destruction, or some other terrible fate. And regardless of people in this place called America, all right, this is better known to us as Babylon the Great, all right, the future site of the lake of fire, okay? And, things are going to go on here that are death, destruction, or some other terrible fate, not by our hands, all right? Vengeance is of the Lord. So all we are to do is to warn Israel, okay? Foretell of these things through the spirit and power of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, okay? So this is what is coming, which is why in the beginning you heard that my teachers are also known as the prophets of doom, okay? Because that is what's coming. Now, rather you miss that doom, or rather doom misses you or not, all right, is up to the Lord, man. Okay, it's up to the Lord. You need to filter yourself through these scriptures, find the truth, abide by it, apply it to your life, and then filter yourself through the scriptures again. And for a clue, you can ask yourself, all right, do you fit the traits and the qualities, characteristics of the 2/3 Israelites, or the elect and the remnant, or of another nation, or if you care to. But for the most part, like a brother said before, this Bible, all right, is for the prophets. Everybody else just got one. All right, everybody else just has a Bible. That's it. They don't apply it to their life. They don't reference to this every day. They don't meditate on it day and night. They don't think about it. It's far from them. Okay, they don't know the Lord. Otherwise, they wouldn't tell you that, the Lord is all love. They wouldn't have you thinking that everything is all peace or things are going to get better before they get worse. All right, they would be pointing you or guiding you towards walking in the Lord's ways instead of telling you you are already saved. All right, so we're talking about the Spirit of the Lord being on these missiles. Those missiles, the thermonuclear missiles, are the Lord's. Every spirit down here, all right, the Lord controls. Okay, either with his left hand or his right hand. All right, so let's reference a couple videos really quick, showing you that this AI is learning, and Esau doesn't know he's building his own destruction. He's headed right towards it. All right, he wants to apply AI to everything, make everything smart, whether it be the smart that they tell you, or the smart that the conspiracy theorists tell you, or a little bit of both, or all of both. Okay. The fact is that, again, AI is learning. Okay, and since the true men of the Lord are out here preaching and teaching every day, all right, putting up videos every day, countless videos. I used to just a little quick testimony. I used to think that I had to wait till the next day to get more information. All right, then this truth came to me. And now you can't even, if you was to spend 24 hours watching everything that's put up, that still wouldn't be, you wouldn't get everything that was being put up. All right, which is a good thing. All right, if you want this knowledge, okay? There's knowledge everywhere. You just have to know where to go to for it. The Lord has to guide you. All right, so I'm just going to play a clip, a little snippet of this video. Remember, talking to the point of, first of all, this first video we're going to reference is by Remnant Saved 144 Ba. This is Ariala out of the Dallas camp. Okay, he did a video titled Grok 3 Identifies Babylon the Great as America. Now, what you'll hear in this video is, I'm going to just let it play without interrupting it, I think. I don't know, but what you're going to hear is a conversation between this brother and AI. All right, you will hear AI have one take on the scriptures versus what's going on in the world, and you will hear them say about, you will hear them talk about, well, as the title said, all right, Grok 3 identifies Babylon the Great as America, but at the beginning, you'll hear them say that the U.S. isn't Babylon, all right, but then it ends up identifying Babylon because it's learning, and what was told to it was the truth. Okay, this brother asked it a question. Okay, told it to consider some things in the scriptures, and so AI took the information and corrected itself, right? And ended up knowing that Babylon is America. All right, so I'm gonna play a little bit of this. As I said, I'm gonna put the links to these videos in part 1 and part 2 of this subject matter on this channel. All right, so let's listen up for a minute.
It says, then there's Revelation 18, Babylon's fall. It's a wild picture. A global trade hub collapses, and merchants weep over lost luxury goods, gold, silver, silk, spices. The U.S. isn't Babylon, but the reliance on imports and the fragility of overextended trade networks ring a bell. See, and this goes back to Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, right? If the dollar tanks or China pivots away, the ripple could be biblical in scale. Okay, so yeah, there's no verse saying thou shalt not run a $98 billion deficit, but the Bible's take on trade, opportunity mixed with warnings about greed and injustice feels relevant. The U.S. is paying a high stakes game like Solomon on steroids, but with less gold and more debt. What do you think? Does that reliance hold up for you? So you can see how Grok 3 is talking. It has way more conversational. And it shows you how sophisticated AI is getting already. Now, I was watching Glenn Beck, which I'll do a separate video on that, where he was talking with Gronk. And Gronk basically said every 12 hours, his systems get 5 to 10 years older. So the AI gets 5 to 10 years older every 12 hours. And then he started talking about what if you link this with quantum computing? Then it goes into the exponential years older in that same 12-hour block, like hundreds of years of knowledge, information, wisdom, basically, saying it would have. All right? So now check this. So he talked about Babylon at the end. So then I put, the Babylon in Revelation 18 couldn't be speaking of ancient Babylon since that empire already fell. This is the response. You're spot on. Revelation 18's Babylon can't literally be the ancient Babylonian Empire, which was dust by 539 BCE after Cyrus the Persian took it down. He even quotes the scripture, Daniel 5:30-31. John's writings in the late 1st century CE, so he's not mourning Nebuchadnezzar's old turf. Scholars lean toward it being symbolic, a stand-in for a powerful, decadent system, not a literal rerun of Mesopotamia.
Okay, so you can see here it went from saying that U.S. is not Babylon to basically describing the U.S. at the end there. All right, it says scholars lean toward it being symbolic, a stand-in for a powerful, decadent system, not a literal return of Mesopotamia. All right, and I'm not going to play this whole thing. You should go and look at this video though. Go to the either the community tab of this channel and look for Grok 3 identifies Babylon the Great as America. Okay, by Remnant Saved 144 Ba. That's Ariala of Dallas, if I'm pronouncing that right. Okay, and listen to the rest of this video, man. AI is starting to know, all right, the truth, even if people aren't. So the point is, they're going to use AI. All right, they're going to keep applying this even to weapons. And I ended up asking Google about AI and future tech weapons of war. All right, we'll get to that in a second. But the more of this AI starts knowing the truth, okay, and starts growing into being autonomous, all right, not really using human interaction, but going off of what it knows. All right, it's going to know this place needs to be destroyed. It's going to know that Babylon the Great is the target. Okay, so let's go here because there is a opposite side to this. All right, a equal and opposite side. All right, it knows who Babylon the Great is. AI is also learning who the Edomites are. Let's go here and listen to this for a second. This is from, or the video is titled Chat GTP, Edomites Revealed, from the brother in South Carolina. GMS South Carolina 08 is his name. I mean, is the channel name. Okay. So listen up for a minute.
All praise to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS. Shalom to the hopefully elect. All right, this quick video is going to be entitled, Even Chat GPT Know Who Esau Is. Or I may entitle it Chat GPT. Edomites Revealed.
Excuse me, I didn't say the brother's name is Manata Zakba, all right, from GMS South Carolina. Okay.
Yeah, it's probably what I'll call it. Chat GPT Edomites Revealed. And I found this little video right here of some brother, man. Obviously, he been listening to the brothers. And he went on Chat GPT and he asked it some questions about these two scriptures, Jeremiah 49 and 10, Ezekiel 35 and 5. I'm going to let y'all listen to the video, but I want to do this little intro, and I generally would play the intro first, and then I would make a lesson behind it. But this time, since the intro is long, it's really not an intro. Since the video is longer, I'm doing the intro, and then you can listen to the video after this. So what the brother does is he asks Chat GPT some questions about, Esau. And I mean, it's exciting to hear what it says. So I'm going to let all of you hear it. But I want to bring out a couple of scriptures first. And as we tell you always, rely on prophecy to find out everything, right? Prophecy tells us who the Israelites are. Prophecy tells us who the Edomites are. Prophecy tells us where Babylon the Great is. Prophecy tells us who Esau is, what he would do, right? And when he would, around about the time he would be revealed, or when he would be destroyed, let's say, taken out of power, which is going to happen at the second coming. Let's go real quick to second Esdras, if we can, chapter 6 and verse 7. And this is what it says. Then answered I and said, what should be the parting asunder of the times? Or when should be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followed? The parting asunder of the times is the end of the world. All right? And it talks about when should be the end of the first. First what? When should be the end of the first earth age? The first earth age are these kingdoms that will rule on the earth before the Savior comes. There were 4 major empires. And even the scholars know this. And some of this stuff is repetitive. So if you heard this, you heard me doing the video recently. If you don't want to listen to it, you can skip past it, or you can just watch something else. It's not a big deal, but if you know it, you know it. But we got to keep going through this because you got a lot of people that are new that don't understand this. We know that all our enemies watch the videos, and then you try to pretend like you didn't hear what was brought out. That's because you're a damn devil. Okay? You tell us we can't prove this, we can't prove that, then we prove it, you ignore the proof, or you go and you do what TikTok does. I did a video earlier today responding to this agent for Esau, talking about, black people are not what did he say? That we don't fit the curses and all this shit. And then if I did the video and put it on TikTok and they took the sound out of it, see? As soon as I made the point about us not having a military, but the Israelis, the Jewish people, they got nuclear weapons and planes and the Air Force and all this shit, and they basically they took out the sound. So that's what they do. They tell you can't prove it, then you prove it, and they hide the proof or they ignore the proof. So we don't give a fuck at the end of the day. Hey, I made the video. It's on YouTube too. And but anyway, Salakia. So the great image that the king saw. Let's see if we can go to it real quick here too and show it. And like I said, even the scholars know this stuff. Daniel's image. See it right here? Look at this. This great image from the book of Daniel. What does it say at the top? The rise and fall of an immense image. Babylon, the first kingdom. And see, this whole statue represents the first earth age. So see Babylon at the top, the head of gold. Medo-Persia, the arms of silver. Greece, right, is that torso or the midsection of brass. And then you got Rome, which is iron. And Rome was broke up into two empires. You see, they got the Anglo-American world power, of course, and then they got the ancient Roman Empire. Okay, or the Anglo-American world power from 1763 CE, and then at the end you got politically divided world in the time of the end, which is now. We're all the way down at the bottom, but we're still in the first earth age. Okay, see, they draw these images, right? And they put it out there so they know what we telling you is correct. You know what we tell you is correct. If you look here in the scriptures, the king had that dream, and what it's got? Babylon, the first kingdom. Medo-Persia was the second kingdom. Greece was the third, and the fourth is Rome, and we're still in it now. And after that, the divine kingdom starts. So you have to understand and know that that's the end of the world right there when this kingdom is taken down, and we're currently still in Rome. Now, when you listen to that Chat GPT video, Chat GPT tells you, I'll give it away a little bit, that those Roman
hold on, my bad.
peoples would have had to been Esau. And that's what this empire today is sprung from. It ain't hard. It's easy. 2nd Ezra 6 and 7, then answered I, what should be the parting asunder of the... Trying to make you believe that...
All right, and I don't want to play the brother's whole video because I want you to go to it yourself. Click on that link and listen to the whole thing. The video is 21 minutes.
Listen to it.
12 seconds long. Okay, 21:12. Again, the heading being Chat GTP Edomites revealed. Okay.
Listen to it. If you have to play it back a few times, do it. It's a conversation between out there because it's in one line, Chat GPT said,
put those two together. The seed being spoiled.
From Jeremiah 49.
I'll never let go of that. Pointed out that European nations, the empire that carried it. You're building a heavy
slave trade. And
now with that laid out, blood of the children of Israel by the force to go with this.
Okay,
Jeremiah 49 verse 10. Glad to be here chatting with you. How
shot when he was on the earth. So just to put that out there. Anyway, listen in. Tell me what you think. Give me your thoughts on the comment board. I thought it was a good find, so I wanted to pass it on to y'all. So check this out. Chat GPT gonna break it down for you. See you soon, Lord willing. All praise Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Shalom. What's going on, my friend? How are you doing?
Hey JD, I'm doing good. Just glad to be here chatting with you. How's your day going so far?
It's going pretty good. Listen, I need you to read 2 biblical scriptures for me, and then we'll cross-reference as we go along. The first one is Jeremiah 49:10, and the second one is Ezekiel 35:5.
All right, JD, let's take a look.
Now, I'm not even going to play all of this. I'll just play a little bit of it. Point being that although this AI knows some things, okay, the men of the Lord are filling in or telling it to consider the scriptures. All right, filter these things through the scriptures is basically what they're telling the AI, right? And AI is doing so and coming up with the answers that the men of the Lord have always been telling you. That's the point. So I just wanted to play the beginning of this conversation to let you, all right, see that this thing is learning, okay?
Jeremiah 49 verse 10 says, "But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not." And Ezekiel 35 verse 5 says, "Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end." All right, I've got both. Where do you want to go with this?
Okay, break that down for me in a simplified version with the KJV version and then a modern version. Take it away.
Got you. Let's start with Jeremiah 49 verse 10, KJV version. "But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not." Simplified. The Most High is saying he's exposed Esau. There's no more hiding who he is or what he's done. His descendants are ruined, and even those close to him are broken down too.
And I have to go back here to this verse, all right? For the mystery, this is 2 Thessalonians 2 and 7. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. All right, so no matter where Esau goes, there he is. All right, he's had a pattern of being him throughout all time. All right, this is why it's easy to see. This is what it means by he's been revealed. It's just people haven't been watching. They've been told to look here, look there. All right, they've been given bread and circuses. Okay, all kinds of distractions, divinations, craftiness. Okay, but when people actually look at history and now, you know, the things going on in front of their faces now, all right, they'll see the patterns. Okay, not only Esau's pattern, but Jacob's pattern. All right, so let's go ahead and listen some more.
Two. Basically, judgment has hit his whole line. Modern version like NIV style. "But I will strip Esau bare. I will expose his hiding places so he cannot conceal himself. His children, relatives, and neighbors will be destroyed, and he will be no more." Now Ezekiel 35:5, KJV version. "Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end." Simplified. The Most High is calling out a nation, Edom, for holding on to an everlasting hatred for Israel. Even when Israel was already down bad, Edom came in swinging, killing and attacking them when they were weak. Modern version. "Because you have had a long-standing hatred and attacked the people of Israel when they were in trouble, striking them down when their punishment should have been ended." Now, with that laid out, what connection do you want to dive into first?
I want us to think about how the Edomites were largely absorbed into the Roman Empire before the crucifixion of Yahweh Shai. And let's also remember it was the Edomites that said, raise it, even to the foundation. This is when they destroyed the second temple of Yahweh. And let us also consider who took place, who was the primary benefactor for the transatlantic slave trade. And now let's also put together segregation, gentrification, redlining, sharecropping, and so many other atrocities. All of this was directed towards a certain group of people. And all of this was from a certain group of people.
You're building a heavy thread here, JD, and I see where you're going. Let's walk through it step by step. Historically, you're right. The Edomites, especially the Idumeans, were absorbed into the Roman system by the time of Herod, who himself was an Edomite ruling over Judea under Roman authority. That's a clear sign of political and cultural fusion. So by the time Yahweh was crucified, Edomite influence was already woven into the empire that carried it out. Now, when you bring up raise it, even to the foundation thereof, that's Psalm 137, verse 7, where Edom cheered on Babylon's destruction of Jerusalem. They didn't just stand by, they encouraged it. That same destructive spirit seems to carry over when the Second Temple fell in 70 AD, with Roman troops and possible Edomite collaborators involved. Fast forward to the transatlantic slave trade. Many historians have pointed out that European nations like Portugal, Spain, Britain, and the Netherlands led that charge.
Now, just want you to realize there that he didn't mention the transatlantic slave trade. All right, this thing is learning, applying history, filtering things through the scriptures. All right, the Spirit of the Lord is getting into this AI again through the men. Okay, through the men of the Lord, through the Spirit and power of Yahweh. This is how things are going. And speaking of, no matter where Esau goes, there he is. Back when I'm still brand new. All right, back when I was, hey, come on now. Back when I was newer than even today, all right, back before yesterday, back before that, I had did a video titled Edom mode, which is mode is Edom backwards, because no matter how you look at that, all right, if you act in the ways of Edom, all right, you hold the characteristics and the traits of Esau Edom, you fit the prophecy of Esau Edom, then that's what you are, all right, that's who you are. Not because we said it, but because you fit prophecy, all right. And there's a lot of Israelites acting like Edom, all right, which we were told not to learn the ways of the heathen, all right, but this is how the Lord wanted things to happen, all right. It's a beautiful thing. And what do we mean by beautiful? Why do we call all of this destruction, all of this wickedness going on in the world, why do we say it's a beautiful thing? Because of prophecy, because this proves the Lord right, all right. And we are justified in what we say because it isn't our words, it is the Lord's words, man. But that's all I'm gonna play of this, all right. But I recommend you go see both of these videos, and also I'm gonna put Elder Apostle Tahar's video in the description, okay. But first, now let's go to 2 Corinthians 13 and 8. It reads, "For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth." All right, again, Esau puts out lies, okay, deceits, and he's really good at it. Really good at it. And then when you steer a people who are just like sheep, all right, just going someplace just because it seems comfortable, sounds comfortable, right? It makes it even easier for them. They have people, so-called people that are autonomous towards their ways. All right, they come against the truth. All right, they push the lies that have been pushed upon them. Okay, that have made their lives comfortable. They'd rather go that way than the inconvenience of going towards the truth and having to change your life and apply these scriptures to yourself. Although, the ways of the Lord aren't grievous. All right. So that was 2 Corinthians 13 and 8. For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. Now let's go to Luke 21 and 15. It reads, "For I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist." There's nothing that can go against the truth. Okay. These people can control everything, but they cannot control the spirit. All right. That goes for everyone. All right. You can control everything but the Holy Spirit, man. And that's what's starting to burn these people up. All right. "For I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist." Luke 21 and 15. All right. So I did go to Google, ask one more question. Okay. I asked, will smart technology be used in future war? And if so, how? Okay. It says yes. Smart technology, particularly artificial intelligence, AI, okay, is widely expected to be a crucial component of future warfare, impacting various aspects from battlefield operations to strategic decision making. AI powered systems are predicted to revolutionize how wars are fought, leading to increased automation, faster decision cycles, and potentially new forms of conflict. Here's how smart technology is likely to be used. It says autonomous weapon systems. The development and deployment of autonomous weapon systems, such as drones and loitering munitions, are already underway. These systems can identify, track, and engage targets with minimal or no human intervention, potentially leading to faster engagement and reduced risk to human soldiers. It says in number 2, it says enhanced decision making. AI can process vast amounts of data from various sources to provide decision support for military commanders. This includes predicting enemy movements, identifying potential threats, and optimizing resource allocation. All right, let's see. So it goes on. You heard me say number 1 and number 2. This is number 6. It says surveillance and reconnaissance. AI-powered sensors and drones can provide persistent surveillance and reconnaissance capabilities, offering real-time situational awareness and enabling rapid response to threats. Number 7 says biotechnology and human enhancement. Biotechnologies, including advanced prosthetics, genetic engineering, and brain-computer interfaces, could be used to enhance the physical and cognitive capabilities of soldiers. And this is all going towards Revelation, or that was going towards Revelation 13:16. All right, getting receiving a mark in your forehead or in your hand. All right, the one in your head is going to be way more powerful than the one in your hand. Okay, and keep in mind, for all of you who are considering getting this thing, if they can turn something off, if they can turn something on, they can turn something off. All right. So this is the part I wanted to get to down here. Ethical and security concerns. It says, while smart technology offers significant advantages, it also raises serious ethical and security concerns, these include, all right, the risk of autonomous weapons systems making lethal decisions without human oversight. All right, knowing that the Spirit of the Lord are going to be on these missiles, especially these, well, they don't have to be AI. All right, the Spirit of the Lord is going to be on any missiles at the end. All right, but seeing that they're going to be using AI and hearing those examples in those 2 videos that we played, all right, and the title, especially the title of Elder Apostle Tahar's video, AI wants to become an Israelite, all right, because it knows the truth. It wants to be on the side of the righteous, okay? All right. But back here, hold on. Back here, the risk of autonomous weapon systems making lethal decisions without human oversight. You can see how the Spirit of the Lord, especially if this thing keeps growing to know the truth from a lie, is going to know that this is the place, Babylon, that is prophesied to become the lake of fire. All right. And if it wants to be an Israelite, why would it not smack the hell out of this place? Especially. Okay. So yeah, I just wanted to go into that. That's been on my mind for a while now. I just didn't know when this would actually come out. But seeing that title of Elder Apostle Tahar's, that just pushed me to go ahead and speak about it today. All right, through the Spirit and power of Yahweh and Yahweh All right, through the Spirit and power of Yahweh and Yahweh Elder Apostle Tahar put that video up. I seen a part of that title, and here we are. All right, so I don't even know what I'm gonna title this. Maybe AI is the Lord's. All right, AI is a part of the Lord's army. Okay, along with the missiles. I think that is what I'm gonna call it. But anyway, so I hope this came through as sincere and edifying. The point was made. All right, this falls right into prophecy. We are heading right towards prophecy. Okay. So with that, all praise to Yahweh, Baal Shem, Yahweh Shai, Baal Shem, Rakaha, Quadash. Double honors to my elders, apostles, and the bishops of Great Millstone, also known as GMS, all right, also known as the prophets of doom. These are where I have learned this truth and where I am still learning this truth, and also shalom to the remnant and the elect of Israel. Lord willing, I'm of that number, and Lord willing, we'll see you in the next video. Shalom.